Hi, Farrukh. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you, Amar? I hope it's all fine there.
I'm good. Thank you. So before we start, this lesson learned video is going to be interesting because Farrukh has passed PMP exam today and he told me he didn't solve a single practice question. So this is interesting as well as unexpected because I usually say to my students, solve mock tests, solve 1,000 questions. So let's see what he did. So first of all, Farooq, congratulations on passing your PMP exam and thank you so much for taking the time out for this lesson learned session.
I'm really grateful for your appreciation.
All right, wonderful. Okay, so let's start with your brief introduction. What do you do?
I have been into some administrative work and project management work since last 20 to 24 years, you may say. Basically, I am an engineer in telecom. I did it from National University of Science and Technology, NUST, which is one of the renowned university of Pakistan, as you know. Later on, I did my master's in international relations and an MBA from Comsats University, Islamabad. In that was MBA Executive in Management. Later on, I was selected for the prestigious Chevening Scholarship, which is offered by UK government. And I went to University of Warwick and did my MS in Engineering Business Management in the year 2017-18. And I'm working for government of Pakistan since last 23 years. And currently, I'm working with the National Radio and Telecom Corporation, NRTC, which is based at Haripur. And it's a public sector setup dealing with various telecom and electronic things. So I'm doing the head of PMO there.
All right, wonderful. Extensive academic and professional background. Wonderful. Okay, so before we come to the question, which a lot of students are asking me, how Farooq passed exam without solving a single mock test? How much total time you spent in the entire preparation process?
Well, Amar, as you know that I took the training classes from you, the PDUs, in the mid of August somewhere. And after that, I had an intention that by end of September, by the fourth week of September, I'd be taking my PMP exam. But unfortunately, due to some domestic reasons and some official reasons, I took the date of 25th October. And once you sent me those notes as well as some mock questions and exercises and all that stuff, I just scanned through in the sense that I just scanned them at my own time, I think once or twice, but not fully grasped the things. But I got to know one thing, that there are certain processes. Let's say, for example, the Scrum thing, the stakeholders engagement, then the risk management, then the cost management plan, then how we deal with the scope management, and then what's the servant leadership, and then what is the agile methodology, what is the agile concept. I have been going through this off and on, like whenever I used to get the time. I scanned your notes as well as I had some other resources available on the web. Like I just put in the Google. If I had some confusing thing in my mind, I just Google them up. And while on the go, moving around or sitting idle, I even in front of while I'll be sitting in front of the TV screen, but I was having my mobile device in my hand and looking at things with that concept that I have to appear in the exam. Moreover, I have been solving immediate mock tests. Like I used to write in the Google, okay, 10 PMP questions and answers. So whatever comes up, I used to solve them just to make up my mind that I have to do it. But honestly speaking, since in the last 2 weeks before the exam, I had in my mind that I would solve those 1500 set of questions which you sent. They are really very useful, I may say. The methodology which I adopted, I may not say that everyone should adopt that, But if you have the will to do, if you have a positive mind, and if you are willing that you can do it, you will be able to do it. So it's what I felt, that it was my mind that clicked to me that, okay, I can do it. And I just went for the exam. Although just before the exam on 23rd of October, there's a mind wave came to me that I should may postpone it for another 2 weeks so that I can prepare well. But then I said, no, I'll go for it. So this is how I went through last 2 weeks, and I also told you the dilemma that unfortunately my wife was ill in these 2 weeks. I had been looking after her, and with all that, those things and those administrative and domestic affairs, I went into the exam. And as I sat in the exam, I just prayed to Almighty Allah that this may be my first and last effort to go through it, because I was I was never of the mind that I'll be appearing again, going for those 180 questions and the repetition of this PMP, because it's time taking thing. And the fear of exam is, you may say that you're very confident, but the fear of exam is for everyone. It equally applies to everyone. So I just went with that mind, and Alhamdulillah, I came up successful.
Wonderful, wonderful, and quite interesting. So this is what normally I do. Like if I intend to take an exam, I just, go through the exam content outline and get a vibe. Okay, I can do it, and I just take the exam. And I was like, since I have been teaching for last 15 years, so maybe it's easier for me. But what you have said is really important and interesting. Like if you focus on understanding concepts rather than memorization and doing a lot of stuff, going through a lot of resources, it would solve most of your problems. So understanding concept, having conceptual understanding is really, really important when it comes to PMP exam. And I think that's what worked for Farrukh. He understood the concepts rather than cramming, memorization, and focusing on a lot of stuff. Okay. So Farrukh, did you read any book or anything that you, apart from my notes, or any specific thing that, where you can say, okay, I have covered the entire exam content?
Well, Amar, honestly speaking, I got that Rita's book printed for myself. Believe me, it is just placed right on my left side right now. I got it printed for myself that I will go through it. But as I said, I didn't get the time. However, I must say to all those who are listening right now that if they have time, they must go through that book as well, at least once, so they can have the clear concept. For me, it was the positive thing was that since I have been doing various projects, I have been dealing with various stakeholders, I have been through all these communications. So once I was sitting in the exam, and any question, as soon as I was reading the question, I was making myself aware that, okay, this is a project I'm dealing. I was like, I'm just sitting there and this situation is happening. So what would I do out of the available choices? And keeping in mind your notes as well as whatever you sent in the WhatsApp group. Like you sent one thing that these are the do's. I think there were some 12 things which
Yeah.
you said that you have to focus on these, and there were 12 negative things that you don't have to do this. So those 12 points I had in my mind, and wherever it appeared that point appeared, I just clicked on that. So I think it worked well.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing, yeah, I was also thinking about, like when you told me about your that you have passed exam, and I was like, your experience is also one of the factors. Like you have extensive product management experience. So those who are watching, if you have experience in product management, that is going to help you in the real exam. But if you don't have experience, then don't follow this strategy. Then go through the normal
Exactly.
strategy, go through
Exactly.
the content, solve mock test, and then so Farrukh got help from his extensive experience. And yes, those tips are really helpful. That we call PMIism or PMI mindset. Like you said, 12 positive things and 12 negative things. I think if you have those in your mind, half of exam can be answered. This is my
Exactly.
perception.
Yeah, it's
So,
it's like that.
yeah. And other things like I shared 100 tips, 100 concepts. Those are also really helpful. 100
Yeah.
yes or no's. Like if so, yes, those are really helpful. Okay, wonderful.
One
So
more thing, there was a glossary of terms which you
yes,
sent in notes with the glossary of terms. Just before the exam night, I just scanned through them as well. I just went through the glossary and I was thinking, oh God, I should have done it earlier. Anyhow, just I went through that as well, just for a while, just to keep my mind fresh that, okay, I have read these concepts. So in the morning, if I'm going for the exam, uh, I may not feel any problem. And let me say once again that if you have paper tomorrow, if you are sitting in the exam like tomorrow, so you must have a good sleep in the night. And as per your own religion, your own prayers, you get up early morning. Just pray for yourself from the Almighty that He would help you, and He surely helps all those who ask for the help. And as soon as you sit in the exam, just stay positive and feel confidence in your own self that you can do it. And don't get confused while solving the paper, and don't focus on the time. Literally, I'll tell you that how time passed, I didn't know. But honestly speaking, as I told you, once I clicked the 180th question, once I solved the 180th question in the exam, the time slot left was round about 30 minutes was still there to go. So I solved in round about 150, 180 questions in a time of about 180 minutes, something like that.
interesting, wonderful, great inspiration, Farrukh, and this would be really helpful for everybody. So our focus is to minimize preparation time these days. We are working on a lot of things like developing content in a way. So rather than reading a book of 700 pages or 800 pages, one should have a precise summary, like maybe 20 pages. So you might have seen my 9 pages PMP notes that cover
Exactly.
100% of the course content. So we are working in optimizing study time. So your success is really, really helpful in, substantiating that claim that one can pass PMP in 10 days or 5 days or 15 days by just focusing on, relevant content. So yes, this is really helpful. Okay. What are the areas or the topics or anything that you would like to highlight where students should focus?
Yes, I must say that most of the questions were related to your practical manifestation of the project management. One, practical manifestation in the sense, like most of the questions were related, which came in front of me, which I can recall since it's been 36 hours now that I have been out of the exam. So they were related to the stakeholder management, the stakeholders engagement, the issues coming up while dealing with the stakeholders most of the time. And then there were questions where the agile methodology worked. Like you must have a clear concept of the agile and these the daily stand-up meetings. Then the problems arising within the team. A person there was I think there were 6 to 8 questions where in a team there was a problem. The team was not collaborating with each other, and there were questions where the team was distributed. They were at in various time zones, at various different geographical locations. So how a project management manager can deal with the people who are at dispersed locations and they are facing the problems. So one must focus on these things. Stakeholder, as I said earlier, stakeholder engagement is very important. You must read and go through all the content, that how to deal with the stakeholders, how to, first of all, how you make the stakeholder analysis, the stakeholder matrix, and then how you deal with them. And the most importantly, that what is your communication management plan? How will you communicate with them?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So yes, these are few topics which are really important for your exam. For example, agile is really important. Leading project management team or people management is really, really important for your exam. And then there are a few topics like scope management, risk management, and one topic that Farrukh has also highlighted is communications and stakeholders. Super important. almost half of your exam would be communications and stakeholders, communication related problems. So yes, these are the things which are important for your exam. All right, wonderful. Farrukh, thank you so much. If I summarize, no books, no mock questions, nothing, just a focused strategy to understand concepts. And of course, Farrukh's experience, project management experience really helped him pass PMP exam. If you have extensive project management experience, then you need not to read a lot of books. You need not to solve a whole bunch of 1,000 or 1,500 questions. Just stay focused and go for your exam and pass the PMP exam. So Farrukh, thank you so much. You
Thank you
are
so much.
great inspiration for all of the students. And once again, congratulations.
Thank you, Amar, and your guidance, your advice was very helpful. I must say to all the next batch of students who are your students and who are intending to sit in the PMP exam, that must focus on the concepts and what all Mr. Amar is going to tell you. That's really important. Whatever he is going to share with you, at least go through it once, at least once, and make your concepts, and then inshallah you'll do it.
Thank you so much, Farrukh. Thank you so much. And
Thank
take
you.
good care of yourself. Stay in touch. I'm just a text away. Whenever you need any help or you want to discuss anything regarding career, and just I'm a text away.
Thank you, Amar. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Have a good night. Bye.